Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome everyone to the round number 2 of the Sim Racers Asia GTE Championship here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. My name is Scott Newton, and alongside me tonight is Sam Fitzpatrick and Marco Barbanera. Welcome, gentlemen. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps and GTE cars. What are your thoughts heading into this race? Would it be a cracking combination, or would it provide some interesting racing out there?
Well, I did the commentary for the iRacing Le Mans series on Wednesday. It was awesome racing across this series. Kind of follows the same schedule as the iRacing Le Mans series, and it was just awesome racing. The class is there, but the GTEs, it's just going to be so competitive. These cars are always so evenly matched, and this is one of the best circuits in the world, if not the best circuit in the world. And this is an awesome venue for round 2 of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Taking a look at the weather tonight, we've got a ambient temperature of 18 degrees Celsius with a humidity of 70%, with an overcast cloud. Not that would be playing much of a factor, given that it's at a nighttime race, but we've got a wind of 18 kilometers an hour, so that will be playing a bit of havoc for the drivers out there tonight. Taking a look at the championship standings from the last round at Circuit of the Americas, Bo Albert currently leads that championship on 90 points, taking the win after a fierce battle with Anthony Winkelmann. Unfortunately, Anthony was disqualified after hitting the incident cap. Corey Ott sits in second place on 86 points. Mike Burdett rounds out that podium on 83 points. Yasmin Yali sits on 80 points, and Ahmad Nurizam rounds out the top 5. Simon Mazzomo sits in 6th place. Michael Hammond in 7th. Chris Whitaker in 8th. Kevin Wang, last series champion, in 9th place, and rounding out the top 10 is Lachlan Crowe. In the team championship, Wildlab Motorsport currently leads on 224 points. Very, very close behind Delta Simsport on 217. A little bit of a gap to 3rd for Velocity Sim Racing, hanging in there 12 points in front of FT1 Motorsport, and Macau Sim Racing team rounds out the top 5 in that championship. So some very, very close battles in the team championship, but we've only had round number 1 of 10, so this championship looks to be quite a fierce one, even from the outset.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super competitive. I've seen a few of these drivers around on iRacing, and yeah, it's going to be super close in the team's championship as well. That little bit of a rivalry, you're driving for a team, really does add an extra element, and you really do need good team results. You need to work together as a team, so it should be a fascinating moment as well throughout the season.
But yeah, with just over 3.5 minutes left of qualifying to go in this session, currently on provisional pole position, we've got Blake Neck for Fusion Sim Racing on a 2-minute 11.69. So great lap time for him. Very, very close behind him is Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira from the Macau Sim Racing team, so he's showing his potential out there today. Mike Burdett, last round's 3rd place sitter, only 500ths behind the pole time at the moment, sitting 3rd. Yasmin Yali in 4th, and running out the top 5 provisionally at the moment is Niranjan Kumar.
Yeah, super close between those top. What is it? Top 6, isn't it? 2 tenths covering the top 6 around a 7-kilometer circuit. That's pretty incredible. And then, yeah, just behind the mid-pack, looking very competitive as well. About 5 drivers, or so, yeah, about 8, another further 8 drivers, I think, in the 2-minute 12s as well. Really strong lap times up there. Of course, the track, as we've already talked about, quite cool, 19 degrees track temperature. That's really going to aid the lap times up there, and makes the tyres a little bit more durable because the tyres do change at the same time as fuel. So I don't know, Scott, but did they change tyres last time? I assume they did.
Yeah, they did. It's a mandatory pit stop in this series, so everyone will have to come down the pit lane. It's also worth mentioning that there's an incident cap of 20 incident points, so if once you hit that limit, Spa being notorious for the incidents and off tracks, yeah, you might find yourself closing on that limit pretty quickly. So something to watch out for the drivers tonight, as we did see last week. A couple of little incidents ending up DQing a couple of the drivers, one or two of them even at the final corner of the final lap. So yeah, something that the drivers will have to keep an eye out on tonight.
Yeah, this is, well, of course, Kota was difficult, wasn't it? And actually, I saw one of the drivers got a bonus 2 points, which if you get 3 instants, I think you get 2 bonus points. That was a pretty good effort, wasn't it? It was Jasmine Jali who managed to get those 2 bonus points, so watch out for that today. Yeah, I think if you get no instant points, you get 5 bonus points, so certainly worth doing. Often we see championships on Apex Racing TV coming down to those extra few points, and yeah, the drivers can possibly keep it clean up there, could be absolutely crucial to both the Drivers' Championship and the Team Championship.
Yeah, we saw last series on RRTV that the Club and Championship was decided by 2 points, and that came down to the bonus points that I think it was Federico Texeria and Simon Hoya Sanchez, the 2 drivers from Macau Sim Racing, and yeah, just those 2 bonus points was the ultimate factor in the final round of the championship at Silverstone. So yeah, as you say, any bonus points that you can get is pivotal to your championship right at the end. But yeah, just as we're coming up to the final stages of qualifying now, I will hand it over to yourself, Sam, and Arco for the commentary for the race, and good luck for that, and I will catch you after the race. Just one thing to point out before I do head back is that live timing is available in the YouTube chat for those that are tuning in live, and yeah, you'll find that in the video description of this live stream.
Yeah, thanks for that, Scott. And yeah, we are just ticking down the seconds now until we will get the grid sorted out. Just watching Sean Thompson coming round and Shane Reynolds just completing his lap. Can he improve? No, he's 14th, so then his perfect lap. And Mark, this is such a difficult circuit to nail a qualifying lap. So many off tracks, as we've already talked about. 7 kilometers long. And yeah, to absolutely nail a lap time, even though they've got 20 minutes up there, it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, I was having one of the amazing waffles you can have behind Eau Rouge, so that is why I wasn't talking in the beginning of the broadcast. But yeah, welcome everybody. Sam, you are absolutely right. This track, like we were talking before, is absolutely unforgiving on off tracks, and at night there's the extra element of having a little bit of trouble in judging your braking spots and your corner markers. The track only has lights in a few areas, that being the start and finish line for the Formula 1 and the endurance racing, so the main straight and the first part of Rouge and Raidillon. After that, basically you are left wandering in the dark. So it's true you have 20 minutes, but mistakes are gonna happen, and you know, on other tracks going a little bit wide, going into the extra, into the AstroTurf will probably be okay, but not here. So we'll see some drivers have trouble in qualifying, and like we were talking about before, we will see some drivers have trouble in the race because you only have 20 incident points, and you have to manage them very, 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 very carefully.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, if you do go over those bonus points, you may as well just use a few of them up. That could be a tactic adopted by a few drivers that just check extending ever so slightly. Of course, yeah, you gotta be so careful. You can only really do that in the last 10 minutes because you get a 4x and all of a sudden you're in big trouble. And you've got a few more drivers to come out. I think we've got Kevin Huang and Jake Moloney to come out. And actually, Kevin, unfortunately, mate, you're not gonna make it round. He's got a long, long way to go. But let's see if he can put in a nice first sector, perhaps improve his theoretical lap time. He is down in 25th position currently, is Kevin. Hasn't set a lap time yet. But yeah, just final few seconds now, and then we'll be able to start gridding up. Should be a rolling start, I think, for this series, and 75% fuel will force the pit stop, and that's going to be a crucial element, isn't it, Marco? The pit stop. You got to come in just at the right point. Can't afford to get stuck in traffic because there are a lot of drivers out here, but at the same time, you can't. You got to keep track position as well.
Absolutely, it's going to be crucial, and I think we can go through the starting grid now that we are a few seconds away from the rolling start.
Yes, Mike Burdett starts from pole position. Yasun Yali in second. Then it's Blake Nick in third. He spent the majority of the session looking at that pole position, but he ends up in third. Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira in fourth. And there's Nirijan Kuma, Abudafi Yaditira Pucha. Sorry if I'm messing up any of these names. This is Sim Racers for Asia. And yeah, someone from Norfolk, it's going to be difficult for me. And then it's Sean Thompson, Ahmed Nurazam, Peter Witzer, Grant Crow, Lachlan Crow, Sam Katakunizos, Ben Wilkinson, Simon Jorge Sanchez, Paul Nelson, Yang Xing Lee, Rob Harris, Shane Reynolds, Andre Amada, Leonard Cooksey, Alex Paul, Brian Renfors, Stefan Grima, Jake Moloney, Kevin Huang, Pat Morris, and Mark Lang rounding out the 27-car field.
Yeah, it's a big field, and pace lap mercifully is cut short. They are starting basically from Blanchimont. We are using the endurance pits, so it's the entire pit road, the Formula 1 pit road, and the endurance classic pit road that goes down Eau Rouge. And the start-finish line, I think, should be there, if I'm not mistaken. So I think the pace car will pull away at the bus stop, but these drivers will have to wait a little bit before getting the green flag. I think they will get the green flag around, I think, after the hairpin at La Source. They are finally rolling. See, great variety of cars, Porsche, Ferrari, Ford. So this is the best part, I think, of GT racing here on iRacing, the different manufacturers. Of course, Sam, the Porsche being the new kid on the block, everybody wants that car, amazing sound, but the Ford and the Ferrari are holding their own today in Spa, and it's going to be, I think, a close battle between all the manufacturers.
Yeah, hopefully. The Porsche, I think they've nailed the BOP, to be fair. It's right with the Ferrari. Ford's still a little bit slower, unfortunately. I am a bit of a Ford fanboy myself. I do like some sandbags. And yeah, just rounding out this chicane, we do have a little bit longer to go, just making sure. It would be terrible if we missed the race start, but yeah, we have to just gotta go through La Source until we go green. That for turn one. The Eau Rouge and Radion as well. Going to be really difficult for these drivers. Going to be difficult for the drivers at the back of the pack as well. Going through La Source, and here we go. Mike Burdett gets away well, and it's Yasun Yali hanging on to second position straight away. Blake Neck right on his tail as we head down the hill. It's side by side for third position, or sorry, fifth position, I think, up Eau Rouge, and that's Nurazam. But it's pretty clean out there. But Yali and Neck side by side, I think, going down the Camel Straight currently, and here they are.
Yeah, there's a car in the wall in the back, but the trouble spot is going to be here at the first chicane. They have to go here single file, otherwise it can be a problem. Of course, you have to watch out their incident count, 20 incidents like we talked before. Going down Brussels corner here. or Rivage. This track has a lot of different names to call the various corners, so it's not always easy. But yeah, they are all behaving more or less in this first part of the race, and it should be like this because we have got 1 hour to go, so there's plenty of time to make up for positions that you may have lost in the starting phases of the race. But we see Sam, the leaders, taking a little bit of a gap on the rest of the pack.
Yeah, immediately. Neck managed to get that move stuck on Yali. There was an issue for Sean Thompson. Just looking at him, he's back to the pits, and he was running, I think, in about 12th position. In fact, he started in the top 7. So really disappointing for Sean. And despite getting a faster pair, his race is pretty much going to be over. This is what happened to him coming down Beau Rivage. And, oh, he just overcorrected it, didn't he? Another car involved as well. Not sure who that was, and another one as well. But, yeah, big issues for Sean Thompson. You can see him back in the pits.
Now, if you don't have a lot of damage, you can use a faster pair. But in Sean's case, I think he's got bigger problems because you basically have to take the tow and go back to the pits. As we see one car head into the pits straight, but probably that car has got some damage as well, and he needs to clear and get that fast repair done immediately. And I don't think you can get home from a pit stop in the first lap, so it's going to really cost a lot of time to that driver. As we see, great side-by-side battle down the Eau Rouge and Raidillon complex.
Yeah, that was Newsam going into the pit. So he was the one who hit Thompson initially. Also, Katakun Xenos, sorry, into the pits as well. I think that was the second car who hit Thompson. So 3 cars involved in that one. Here we've got side by side. Nelson versus the Cutsy. Nelson on the inside, and he should just be able to pull ahead currently, although lost a little bit of time mid-corner there. But managing to make that one stick. He has got a bit of a gap, 2.5 seconds actually, to Wilkinson, who's a bit on his bit by himself. 2.3 seconds further up to Lint, so you can really see how that mid-pack has spread out. But this battle really raging on. Still very close out in the lead. Neck just about holding up Burdett, and sorry, Neck managed to make that move. So we missed that one, but Neck did manage to get that move. I wouldn't be surprised if it was down the Camel Straight. And what a storming start from Blake Neck, 3rd to 1st.
Yeah, he lost that pole position, like you said, in the final few seconds of qualifying. He sure wanted to make up for that, and he did already. We are in the 2nd lap, and he's back in the lead. And like you said, we are seeing the replay, and the move looks like it was done before Lecombe, after the Camel Straight. You see he's on the inside. No point in risking anything silly from Mike Burdett. He lets him by basically, and again, long way to go, and surely he will try to come back to Blake if he can with this pace later in the race.
De Oliveira also managed to make the move on Yali. We saw that in the background. So De Oliveira up a position, although he's not comfortable against Yali. So Yali being overtaken a couple of times already. First by Burdett and now by De Oliveira. But he is still hanging on. But one driver who isn't hanging on, Mike Burdett, he's really struggling to keep up with this turn of pace from Blake Neck in his Ford GT. And here is Yali. Can he respond against De Oliveira? This is the battle for 3rd position. Vidyata Kucha just behind as well. Can Yali make this one stick? He goes to the inside. Deep on the bricks he goes. And I think Yazim Yali is going to make that one stick.
Great move, great pass. The draft is very strong on the Camel Straight. We've already seen a couple of passes there, so we have to take note of this for the rest of the race. You can make your passes there, and of course, car being so balanced, if you are in the draft of someone, you usually are going to be able to pass him, because you can follow the car in front of you through Eau Rouge, through Raidillon, and get the draft and make the pass. So good move there by the Porsche, and he's back in position 3.
Yeah, it was a really solid, good move. And yeah, just looking for the battles down the field. We have got Rudeta, Kucha, Kuma, and Kawitsa all very close to one another. That's a three-way battle, and actually, the Oliveira could fall into that pack if he's not careful. Here they are. And they are closing in on those top four slightly. And on that last lap, though, just looking at the lap time, Neck on that last lap, 1.7 seconds faster than Burdett. Neck is absolutely flying out there. You don't think... I'm surprised he couldn't get pole position with this pace, but maybe he just got a couple of invalidated lap times because he's storming away from the field at the moment.
Yeah, and we talked about Ford being a little bit slower, but he's surely not feeling that with his number 42 Ford GT, because he is really putting on a show on the timing screen. Another very good lap, 0.5 of a second better than Max Burdett this time around, I think. A really good showing by Blake, and of course you have to keep your concentration up for the entire race, so you have to be very, very careful. It means nothing if you're the fastest guy on track, but you keep getting off tracks after off track. So looking good for him so far, that's for sure.
Yeah, according to our system, so far everyone's picked up a slowdown because an incident, but our system is done on the GPS, so it's a little bit more fussy. I think currently Neck apparently has got 5 off tracks, whereas Burdett has only got 1. Just looking for a move. I think Kutsi just managed to get past Crow. They've been fighting a little bit for a while, and actually I think Crow might have an issue just dropping a few positions.
Yeah, I saw him drop hard in the timing screen, like a Crow. Let's see the replay, the Ferrari.
Was an awesome chain going into Lake Kuman. Or how does Crow get involved in this one? And yeah, it was a spinner ahead, wasn't it? The 55 car. That is Kutsi. So yeah, they were fighting really toe and nail with one another, but they've cost themselves and lost quite a few positions.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard hit. They both hit the front of each other's car, so you know it's going to be big damage, and we'll see if they will get to the pits at the end of the lap to get the fast repair in. And of course, again, it's very, very easy, as we see. I think we are running with a Magnus Ram. I think this was a move for P24. Let's see.
Yeah, both of those drivers have already pitted. Nuazam came into the pits ahead of Kata Kunizo, and so I don't know why he was behind, but yeah, he's made that move stick now. Up into P24. Next up for him will be Mark Lang. Here's Brian Renfors getting past Matt Morris. This brilliant pack from about 12 to looking back to about, well, certainly 16th. All really close to one another. Morris just getting a little bit out of shape up the hill, but he will be able to pressure down this camel straight. And we're seeing the overspeed really crucial, and going into Lake Kuman, because you want the momentum. That's the most important thing, whether you're on the outside or the inside, and he has got the inside hit, and there he goes, retaking that lead, retaking that 13th position. Morris past Renfors once again.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that we will see the majority of the overtaking down the Camel Straight, and it makes sense, of course, because it's, I think, the safest place to pass on this track, because you can get your move set up way in advance thanks to the draft, and thanks to knowing that if you have the inside, you are pretty sure to come out on top there. But there are other passing spots, for example, here at Puon, very, very tough spot, of course, but if you are brave enough, you can make your move, whilst it's a little bit more difficult to pass here at Fagnes. Yeah, this other chicane here we're seeing, because it's a more flowing chicane. And if you're very, very brave, you can try to make a move later in the lap at the bus stop, after following very closely the car in front of you, through Blanchimont, but that's not going to be easy, of course. And you know that the bus stop, it's very easy to misjudge your braking point or get too hungry and go for a dive bomb for a space that is not there and having a crash, as we see now. Just like I was saying, Blanchimont, it's a very, very tough corner to follow, especially at night.
Yeah, to get your turn in just right at that corner in the day is pretty difficult. At night, it's even more tricky. Harris trying to make the move on Renfrew, so Renfrew struggling a little bit out there. Harris down the inside, just made the move on pole, and he's now made the move on yes, just making that move again. So yeah, good from Rob Harris. And here's Morris onto the back of Nelson now. I think we might see another one of these Camel Straight crosses. Once he gets this one, he's going to be 6.5 seconds behind the next car, so we'll have quite a bit of clean air. Can he make this one stick though? Depending on the inside is the Porsche. But around the outside goes Morris, and he's going to have the inside for this one, he's going to have the outside for this one, and there could be contact, but he just about makes that one. Almost seemed to run Nelson a little bit off the circuit there, but however he did it. Matt Morris is up into P12.
That was a great move by Morris on the outside, not easy. That was great defending by Nelson, but it wasn't enough. The Ferrari had the better pace coming into the chicane, and we now know that you can pass on the outside, even if it means you have to use a little bit of elbows sticking on the outside. One thing I was watching when I went to Spa 2016, talking about the Blanchimont corner, in real life, the drivers have it a little bit easier because they can usually take a wider entry and a wider exit from Blanchimont. Here it is not permitted, you get an off-track 100% of the times. But it is not unusual to see in real life cars have like half of the car on the right side of the white line, entering and exiting the corner to maximize your entry and exit speed.
Yeah, they're a little bit more lenient in real life, aren't they? Whereas iRacing, around this circuit at least, very, very harsh. And yeah, we will not hear the end of it, I'm sure, until they change it. I doubt there's a system which will satisfy everyone. Anyway, Kumar versus Putra now. Kumar's been caught for quite a few laps now. They've lost touch with the Oliveira, so it's important that Putra makes this one now. He's on the outside. Kumar really defending till the line here. Needs to try to ever so slightly get further out, but if anything, just a lot later on the brakes there, and that's an awesome move there from Putra. Really a lot deeper on the brakes there, and Kumar, despite defending that inside line fiercely, could not have any kind of response.
Another great move. I'm looking at the front of the pack. Lap times have now become a little bit more stable between the top 2 or 3 drivers, even though Neck is still lapping faster than Burdett and Jolly, but by like 1 or 2 tenths of a second per lap. So the gap is now 1.85 seconds between position 1 and position 2, with Jolly a little bit behind. He is 2.5 seconds more or less away from P2. You see the cars on your screen right now, but I think that as of this moment, Jolly will have to watch his back because Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira is really closing in on him, and we could have a nice tasty battle for third position. Of course, we have great overlay graphics, but in case you get lost, you can watch the side of these cars as we are on board, of course, with Oliveira, and you see the leader lights on these cars that will show you the first, second, and third position based on the how many lights are light up on the side of the cars. So the leader will have 1 light, the second position 2 lights, and the third position 3 lights, of course. But with our great overlay, you shouldn't have this problem that we see some great onboard footage here. It's amazing, this part of the track at night, very well lit up, and then you get basically into the unknown.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just driving straight into the forest, and yeah, it is pretty dark out here. I'm a bit surprised actually with De Oliveira's pace because of course we saw him make the move on Yali earlier on. Yali quickly responded and within a lap was about a second ahead, but De Oliveira looking really quick currently, was faster than Yali on that last lap by half a tenth of a second. But Neck on that last lap was 4 tenths faster than all of his rivals. But they are keeping themselves in play. Less than 5.5 seconds separates the top 4. And actually, Pucha and Kuma really losing themselves a lot of time. It's gone up to 6 seconds now. On that last lap, they lost 1.5 seconds to Oliveira. So, yeah, they're costing themselves a chance at the podium. And now Crow is going to get involved as well. He's within 2 seconds of them now.
Yeah, he is coming. You are absolutely right. Cameras on Crow. The 205 car, this is the 777 car of Kumar. But the Porsche, of course, you can easily distinguish it on the background because of its amazing sound and unique sound. On board.
It's really difficult to tell who's the faster out of these two, isn't it? Because, yeah, Pucha made the move a couple of laps ago, but Kumar is easily keeping up with him now. What do you think? Is Kumar a little bit quicker, or is it just whoever's got the slipstream?
I think it's a case of the slipstream as of this moment. We see now Kumar on the outside. Wow, he locks the brake very, very deep. Can he make it stick? He can't. That was I think it was a mistake on his part. I don't think he was going for the pass. You never try for an outside pass there. But you can feel he wants to make the move. But that mistake now, Crow is back in this battle as well, and we'll have a lot of draft to use on the Camel Straight.
Yeah, of course, just licking his lips currently. Here's Grant Crow just behind. And of course, Klawitza as well will get involved in this one as well. Now, is Kumar close enough? He's 1/4 of a second behind. 2/10 of a second behind. He's closing. He looks to the inside now. Does Kumar? But he just backed out of that one in the end and has lost himself a little bit of momentum. Sure, he'll be right back into the tail any second now, but on his tail now is Crow. And within about 2 laps, he's made up, what, 4 or 5 seconds, I think, as Crow. It's quite incredible.
Yeah. All 3 drivers running in the Porsche, so you know the performance is almost identical. Of course, setup might be different, but I mean, when you get to the nitty-gritty, the performance is the same, and it's looking like a tasty battle, this one for P5. I still think that Kumar is the faster of these 3 drivers here, but you know, you have to be so clean when you make your move. And I'm also thinking these drivers don't want to risk getting unnecessary incident points, especially this early in the race. So you could try a move, as Kumar gets, I think, an off track there because he went very, very wide. You don't want to risk an unnecessary 4x by maybe dive bombing your opponent into the bus stop. We'll see now what happens.
Well, these guys, according to our system, have got... Oh, wow, sorry, I thought he was a little bit too late on the big Kuma. But yeah, these guys, according to our system, have got 10 more instants than the drivers ahead already. Apparently, Pucha is on 18 instants, but of course, it's our system. It's not the proper iRacing system. And but it's an indication, at least a correlation, I think, that, you know, they are pushing these limits quite a bit harder than the other drivers up there. You really do need to keep that in mind. As we go up the hill once again, and Kumar this time is a lot further back than he was on the last one.
Yeah, and maybe he needs to watch his back right now. Let's see if Crow can close the gap or not. I don't think he can. I think they will stay, all 3 will stay put this time around on the Camel Straight, which they do. It's a battle for P14, I think.
Yeah, Pole's trying to get the move on Nelson. He's got the slipstream from Harris as well. Pole on the outside. But he can't formulate a pass there, just behind Nelson and Harris. Brilliant Gatzel for these guys, but they are a little bit isolated. 5 seconds back to Amador, and then a further 6 seconds ahead to Matt Morris. So, yeah, they can quite happily fight amongst themselves and not be too concerned about getting other drivers involved.
You know, Sam, we are based in Europe, so we usually don't race against these guys due to the time zone difference. So it's great to see these different liveries we are not used to. But I have to say, this Coca-Cola Porsche is amazing. It looks so good.
Yes, it does look awesome. I must say, I like Pole's livery as well, the pink livery. And yeah, that's looking good. But yeah, the Coca-Cola as well. Awesome designs from all the drivers up there. And here is Morris. Was this a mistake for Morris? I think he might be out of the race. And yes, it was. And not sure what happened there. Seems like some kind of hardware failure, Marco. And yeah, that's Morris out of the race.
Yeah, he was riding hard onto the curb there. Then he went straight at Pujon, but he didn't hit the wall. I don't know if he had previous contact with the wall or with another car that caused him as Mark Lange enters the pits. So this maybe they had contact. I don't know if they were running together. But yeah, that looked a little bit odd, as we are now running again with Grant Crow, and Crow, this is still a replay, trying to make a move at the bus stop chicane. Was not successful, but they are still battling, these two guys, and in the meantime Putra gets a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of an opportunity, couldn't it? But Crow hasn't really come that close to making a pass so far. Of course, driver ahead with the slipstream.
You saw Putra go basically kiss the wall there, almost. So that's an off track as well, and that was dangerously close to crashing your car. He lost a bit of time bunching up the three of them once again, and I think this battle is going to go on until they take their pit stop, basically, because they are so evenly met, these three.
Yeah, I think he'll go on after the pit stop as well. Could be an advantage, you think, maybe for Crow, because he's been in the slipstream, and if he can possibly save a lap of fuel. It is incredibly difficult round here because of the length of the circuit, but you know, yeah, let's recover a lap of fuel. Could that be what Crow's doing right now? Because if he could do that, get a clean lap once these guys have pitted, have a slightly shorter pit stop, it could easily get him track position, whereas if he went for the moves right now, it could be a little bit more risky.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are right. You are making a very, very good point here. We'll see. Of course, having a clean track is so important in this category. These guys are a little bit lucky in the fact that they don't have to contend with the HPDs, so LMP2s, LMP1s, like they do in the official Racing Le Mans series, which this series is based on, because we follow the same calendar, week in and week out. So it's a little bit easier to calculate your pit entrance time and your strategy and when you're going to come out, and you don't have to basically move away every 2 seconds for a very fast car coming on your back. As we see now, maybe Kumar is going for the pass. Not this time, but he was very, very close to Putra this time, as Crow has taken a little bit of a step back and losing a little bit of ground. Like you said, Sam, maybe he's just happy to be there and save a little bit of fuel.
Yeah, perhaps he's driving quite smoothly currently, but of course they will have to change these tyres anyway, so it's not necessarily that much of an advantage. At least I assume they're going to change tyres, maybe around some of the less fuel consumption circuits we visit at the later on in the season. Maybe they won't change tyres because the pit stops will be so short. Of course, the tyres and the fuel are taken at the same time in these cars. It's the annoyance of much of the community, but IMSA rules, and yeah, that means that yeah, you don't really have to make that split choice. Otherwise, it would be an extra 25 seconds. But instead, they only have to stay in the pits for maybe an extra 10 seconds at most, I think. And found a high fuel consumption track like this is certainly worth taking that time. Close between Yali and the Oliveira. I think Yali recently made Yali's actually responded, so the Oliveira first made the move, and then Yali, I think, on this lap has also made the overtake, but still the Oliveira super close, but they are really losing touch to Burdett now, and seemingly it could just be a two-way battle for the leader. These two keep on raging on this battle.
Yeah, they are very, very close to each other, and I think the Oliveira will try to make a move from the next chicane after the camber straight. Let's see the green Ferrari, you see, pretty distinguishable even at night time. I think they have I think there is a back marker in front of them.
Yeah, that could give a little bit of a slipstream to Yali, but it's not helping him out at the moment. Here comes the Oliveira, down the inside goes the Oliveira, and he's made that move stick once again. Third position once again for the Oliveira. These two are going to be fighting to the end of the race, but really evenly matched on pace. And after making that move on the last lap for Yali, could not make it stick this time round. Big issue. No, it's not a big issue. Sorry. Yeah, Harris is into this. Rob Harris. That may have popped up on your screens anyway. Yeah, just so I'm going down the field, but he has come out ahead of Niozam. No, he hasn't. That's quite important actually, because Niozam, of course, has made a pit stop. Although, actually, he's probably going to have to make another pit stop. It's really frustrating for Niozam and Kata Kunizo. Otherwise, they'd be fighting perhaps for a top 5. Unfortunately, they're going to have to make an extra pit stop and should be spending the rest of the race at the back of the field. But Rob Harris, of course, the first driver into the pits. And yeah, maybe that will open the floodgates for other drivers to do similar.
Yeah, it's a bit early, but you know, maybe you're right. When driver comes in and then everybody else comes in because you don't want to be late to the party. As we are back to this trio, which is really putting on a show. Putra, Kumar and Crow, they are battling for P5. And I mean, Sam, I think they've been battling together since lap 2 or 3. And we are on lap 14 right now. So one thing of notice that I was thinking about before, and I was wondering before saying something stupid. I was waiting a bit. So it works like in the 24 hours of Spa. The start and finish, they take the start at Eau Rouge, but the finish is at the Formula 1 starting grid.
Yes, I believe so. So it
yeah.
was Wednesday, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, you've got to take into account the last lap then is like way shorter, so actually calculating how whether it's going to be the last lap or not is a little bit more difficult because it's yeah, quite a bit shorter than all the other laps, but yeah, should not be too much of an issue. We did see some drivers run out of fuel actually last time out at the Le Mans stage. It went down to, I think they started the final lap with about 2 seconds to go, and that was a big issue. Of course, it's going to be important out here for the drivers because we're seeing track position. Whilst overtakes are very possible, track position is still very useful out there, and they will wisen up to the overtakes perhaps. So if they can possibly save a second or two in the pit stops, they certainly will. Still, we haven't really checked in on our leader for a while. Blake Neck still leading the race. He's consistently a tenth to 2 tenths faster than Mike Burdett. That gap up to 3 seconds, but Burdett is very much keeping himself in play. It will take a small mistake from Neck, and this race will be very open once again. We'll have to negotiate this traffic coming up. But yeah, it's been absolutely relentless. And Neck's going to pick up an instant out there. That's not exactly useful. Lost about 3 tenths of a second as well.
Yeah,
not exactly what you want to see as the leader.
Yeah, scary moment with the lapper going around right in front of the leader. He had to make a choice. Of course, the lesser of the two evils was to take the off track, going a little bit wider at the exit of the bus stop. But I was just saying to myself, hopefully no one gets in his way when he's making a pass when he's trying to lap somebody, because you never know. It's never easy to make an overtake and lapping a car in daytime. You can expect more of the same, even worse when it's nighttime, because basically when you are driving, the only thing you see behind you is the headlights, and maybe they come at you very very fast. You panic a little bit, and you don't know where the faster car is going to go. Usually you should stick to your place and the faster car goes around you. That's what I prefer when I'm getting lapped. But you never know. Maybe in the heat of the competition you try to do too much as a lapper, move, and the car behind you is not expecting that, and there's all of a sudden you have contact. So it's going to be tough. Of course, being all GT car here shouldn't be that big of a problem as we had, for example, on Wednesday.
Yeah, but of course, through this part of the circuit, do you get all the weight? Because you can spit if you're only a second a lap slower. You know, you can probably start this this middle sector ahead, remain ahead through the entirety without the faster driver necessarily being able to force the move. And of course, we've got drivers such as Katakunizo and Nurizam out there who could be lapped by the end of the race. They're only slightly slower than leaders and are completely out of position. So, you know, if we have that situation, then, you know, what do you do? It's a really difficult balance. And of course, when you're in the same class, it's not quite as simple for the faster car necessarily to force the overtake. Burdett did close in by 3/10 on that last lap because of that little off from Neck. We'll see what the lap times are this time. For Neck, it is a 2-minute 12.03. That's a strong lap, but Burdett into the 2-minute 11s. 2-minute 11.99. That's less than a tenth slower than his fastest lap. And these drivers are just getting faster and faster as the fuel loads come down. And yeah, I'm really astonished by this quality of driving because they've been so consistent. And it's one of these laps where it's so intense, lap after lap. You can't afford to give up. Pretend it. Every corner is absolutely crucial.
Yeah. And again, we are not seeing the effects of the off tracks, so we will see that later in the race. Of course, we are getting closer and closer to halfway through the race as well. And once again, we move to this great battle here. Kumar now getting very close to Putra, maybe can finally make his move at the end of the Camel Straight. No, he can't. Wow. He's lacking, Sam. Kumar I think he's lacking that extra aggression, I think, in order to make the move there. You know he wants to make the pass, you see he wants to make the pass, but he's not 100% sure, I think, of his car ability to outbrake the opponent into the chicane.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the case. And yeah, of course, going into that corner, it's a very fast chicane, you know, and it really narrows up the circuit. And if you are slightly late on the brakes and you make contact, then both cars are going to spin, almost guaranteed. So it is a difficult one to force the move. There isn't really necessarily an easy overtake in the spot around here. Maybe the source is a bit easy, but the bus stop isn't easy. And yeah, Lecumbe isn't easy whatsoever at all. So yeah, going to be difficult for Kumar to make that move, but he is a lot closer on this lap. And if he can just stay close on the exit of the source and stay close up Eau Rouge as well, he should be relatively simple for him to make the move down the Camel Straight, at least get alongside him. Once he's got that, he'll fancy his chances.
Yeah, he's very, 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 very close right now. I don't think he will fancy a move at the bus stop. He doesn't.
So Witzer hasn't quite got involved in this one, unfortunately. Though it's losing a little bit of time. Actually, on that last lap, he must have picked up a slowdown or something because he was 2 seconds slower than these guys. He did have a chance. You can see him in the background, I think. He's 5 seconds behind now, so that's going to be difficult for him to make up. But all of a sudden, Kumar from attack to defense. Grant Crow, right on his start now. Is he flat up through Eau Rouge? think there was a bit of a lift up there. Great. All about this run now. Up through Radion and down the Camel Straight they roar. Crow closing, not closing a whole lot. A little bit of a look to the inside, but thinks better of it. And he seems super happy in that position, Marco. I don't know if he's waiting later on, but I haven't seen him at all show any kind of aggression to these two. He's just really happy, you know, sitting in behind. And, you know, I hope he's got something up his sleeve, that he's saving a bit of fuel, or he's confident he can make the move later on, because, you know, sitting in behind, you kind of got to make these moves quite soon with only 25 minutes to go.
No, either that, or is the fact that all three being the same car, maybe they are running similar setups. They are having problem getting that extra oomph of energy, of power, of speed to get the move done, because you see they really close up to each other on the Camel Straight, but then no one has the extra speed or braking power to get the move done. And as amazing as this is, as entertaining as this is, they are losing a lot of time with the cars in front. They are not helping each other at all.
Just wait and see if one just comes in. That was a very slow car on the inside. Maybe it would have been Crow, I think. Let's see if any of them pit this time. No.
Yeah, Putra is in.
So, yeah, Putra is in. So, is that a bit of fuel saving, you think, from Kumar and Crow to be able to do that extra lap?
Maybe yes. I mean, Putra basically led the pack for the entirety of the race, so it didn't have any kind of help. And we were talking the other day when we went to Montreal, both for the V8s and the SRA GTE Championship, about the very long pit lane. And I think that together with Montreal, Indianapolis, this must be one of the longest pit lanes in all of the motorsport world, because you have two pit lanes combined into one, and it's never ending. And we see now the attack on the outside, but still good defense and contact.
Oh, that was netcode, surely.
That was a huge netcode there, and Kumar loses the position to Crow. Now we will have to see if they have damage. Luckily, it seems we are very close to their stop, so they can get in the pits and do a fast repair if needed. That was a very weird contact there. Either way, I think they both get an unnecessary 4X. In a race like this can cost you big time, Sam.
Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, you think that's a fifth of their incidents gone in an hour-long race. It's going to be really difficult now, and these guys will be picking up quite a few incidents according to our system, at least compared to others. Crow, according to our system, has picked up 34 incidents compared to, for example, De Oliveira and Yali with 8 and 9 respectively. So, of course, he hasn't got 34 incidents, otherwise he'd be disqualified. But, like I keep on saying, it's a correlation, perhaps. And, maybe we will see him in big trouble later on. Kumar has dropped off. I wonder if that damage maybe has cost him a little bit. Of course, the driver who is going to really benefit from this is Putra, because those two drivers have really cost themselves a lot of time. Now, will they be in this lap? Kumar, I seriously expect him to be in. Yes, he is. And Crow, he stayed out.
One thing we have to say also, to be fair, this race is being hosted on the Australian servers, and we are both stuck in Europe. So maybe that contact was not as netcode, can I say that, as it looked to us. We will have to see. And also we know that big latency times also affect the way a system can detect off tracks. So you are right, we have to take it with a pinch of salt, basically, what the system is saying, because we know that for the drivers in the race the situation is a little bit better than from us watching from basically half the world away. even a bit more. So maybe there was door-to-door contact there, and to us it seemed like it was like 10 meters of net code basically between the cars.
Well, I just looked back on it on the broadcast, and of course Scott's is an Aussie.
Yeah.
And according to that, it looked even bigger. So
Oh god.
I think it was absolutely insane netcode. I don't even know how it happened. Usually, of course, the netcode is the simulation predicting where each driver is going to go. They weren't going anywhere near each other. They were just going parallel to one another, and yeah, then they made contact. So that was very annoying. Kuma is ahead of Pucha. So despite all those issues, Kuma will be very happy with that. He had a 4-second last stop. Maybe that's one less lap of fuel. And despite all those incidents for Nirjan Kuma, he is ahead of Pucha, and that could be a net P4. And Nek and Burdett are in, and Yali as well.
Yeah, Lopez de Oliveira stays out, so he will take, even although briefly, the lead of the race. For the first time, I think, in a lot of laps, Nek will not lead a lap. I expect Lopez de Oliveira to pit next time around. So, Sam, not only I am terrible at predicting strategies, now I am also terrible at explaining the technical stuff, internet related. I was sure that it wasn't as bad as it looked to us, but thankfully you read my mind, because I wanted to go and check on the broadcast what was going on, and yeah, that was even worse.
Yeah, well, we're all terrible at predicting strategies. That's just Apex Racing TV. But yeah, maybe you've broadened our badness there a bit, Marco. And just looking at the drivers in the pit lane, Nek has got back ahead of Burdett. So Nek is out to the pits, and Burdett is out to the pits as well. I think there's 3 seconds between the two of them, so pretty much no difference out there. So yeah, staying about similar. Now Crow stayed out, so yeah, we don't need to worry about Crow compared to these guys. Of course, as we expect, Pucha is closing in on Kuma. Just looking at Crow's last lap time of 13.35, that's strong. Compared to Pucha's though, 13.16. Those fresh tyres, perhaps, really benefiting him, and it's going to be neck and neck, I think, when they come out of pits.
Yeah, I have to say that my live timing has died, so we just have what we see on screen. No worries, we will have this entertaining battle for us, as Kumar and Putra are neck and neck once again, as they are going to the Rivage corner, and on the right there once again. I can tell you, this place here, the best camping spot in all of Spa-Francorchamps. If you go watch the 24-hour race, camp there. You can have my guarantee. It's amazing, and you have a beautiful view, not only of big part of the track, but at night you see the pit area all lit up basically, and emerging from the forest is amazing, and it's the best unpopular camping spot, because everybody wants to camp near Eau Rouge and near the Lecombe chicane, but go there, it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Would be an awesome trip to Spa, especially to see the 24. I think that's pretty much as good as it gets. And yeah, would be an awesome. It's a motorsport pilgrimage. It's really, isn't it? So yeah, one of those things I think every motorsport fan has to do. Just looking at the drivers now who haven't pitted, they have now pitted. So De Oliveira pitted, Crow as well, Lynn and Wilkinson. So all those drivers who hadn't pitted previously are now coming out of the pits. And Klawitza is De Oliveira coming out of the pits. Is he ahead of Yali? Yes, he is, quite comfortably. So that's worked out well for De Oliveira. Big one is Crow. Is he ahead of Kuma and Pucha? Here is Crow. and it's going to be really close. Actually, here is Puccia. This is what we wanted to see, but Puccia, I think, is going to have much better overspeed. And Kumar's already made the move, so Crow was behind all these guys, and he's going to have fresher tyres now, Marco, but we were talking earlier how he wasn't making the overtakes. Got to make them now.
Yeah, absolutely. So these three are once again battling, and I thought that after the pit stops they were going to be a little bit more spread out, these three. That did not happen. You said that they were going to be battling even after the pit stop, so you were right, and I think this is going to go on until the end of the race, as live timing is back. So thank you, Scott, amazing work once again. So we can give you information on all the drivers. Slow Ford on the right of the track. I have to say, apart from our leader, not many Fords on track and not so competitive. So this is a testament to the speed that Blake Neck is having today, Sam.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The Ford round circuits like...
Oh!
And he's into the wall there, sorry.
It's Kumar.
He's okay though, that was just a spin. He's got a bit of a bent spoiler though. It wasn't bent before, as we can see. So let's see this one. Should be easy flat. Well, I say easy flats out. Oh, he just got on the curb, didn't he? And that overcorrection once again. Oh, it was quite a big hit. Okay. But didn't look too much. But Kumar, let's see if he can recover. He has got half a minute to the rest of the field, but that's going to be difficult for him to hang on to.
He's not appearing on my timing, Kumar. Oh, he's gone. Retirement for him. Maybe he already used his fast repair and he had a meatball flag and he decided to end his race right there. Sad moment, because he was putting on a show together with the other two competitors he was battling since the beginning of the race. Too bad. That's all it takes at Spa-Francorchamps. I think 2 wheels on the grass. Correction, the car went into a tank slapper, and that wall there on the left, it's a tire wall, but he hit it, dear Sam, at a very, very bad angle, and I think that he had suspension damage, and that was his race, basically.
Yeah, really frustrating for him, because he, like you were saying, he was putting on a great show and looking actually quite strong for that P5, wasn't he, after fighting so hard to keep on hold to it. And I think you were right with the fast repair as well, because we saw that contact and him losing a little bit of time straight after that contact. And yeah, once he and I wouldn't be surprised if he took the fast repair just to fix a little bit of damage at that first pit stop. And yeah, once he saw that meatball, game over for him. Crow is still pressuring Puccia, and we were just watching Neck as well. Neck did lose quite a bit of time to Burdett on the last lap, 1 second. However, on this lap, I think he's really re-established that advantage. Neck 11.88, Burdett 11.9. Sorry, 12.29. So another 4/10. I think that's been the story of this race, Marco. Burdett occasionally closing in on Neck, often by quite big margins, by half second or a second as we saw previously, but he just hasn't been able to put together consecutive laps faster, and that's just a testament to how Neck has responded to everything Mike could have offered.
Absolutely, you have to be consistent in these long races, and Neck is doing just that. Consistent. And again, it wasn't easy, because as we see, reinforced going around there, the car had blasted.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Wow.
Hopefully all the guys avoided him. I think that was a 2-on. Maybe, yes, and the exit of Kwon, a terrible place to spin your car, and he was stuck there, nothing he could do. Maybe a little bit of contact there with the Ferrari, but when you spin there and your car gets stuck basically on the curb, it's the worst place you can possibly be. As now the battle of three drivers became a duel, and it's Putra and Crow battling for P5, and still they want to put on a show for us as they get to the Puong section of the track where we just had the contact with the Ferrari, the crash with the Ferrari. So let's see if Crow has something for Putra to get into that position number 5.
Yeah, because Putra has been defending for this entire race, to be honest. First against Kumar, and now against Crow. So he kind of knows all the tricks of this circuit. I think same cars as Michael was saying earlier on. They are so similarly matched on pace that neither driver has been able to really force an advantage. But are the new tyres on Crow's car some 3 laps younger? Is that going to be a big enough advantage? Is that going to be the advantage he needs to force this overtake? Can he have a go into the final chicane? He's a little bit too far back, but going ultra defensive, Kucha. And these two only care about this position now. They've got 5 seconds back to Klawitsa. They're 13 seconds behind Yali up ahead. And this is going to be a proper duel for the last 8 minutes.
Now, one thing I am sure it's not a mistake is maybe you are asking yourself at home, why does this car have this purplish light in the cockpit and not like a brighter color light, or why don't they have like a brighter instrument display? Basically, this is a way to help the driver focus and not lose their night vision as Crow goes for the pass. Oh! They managed to not have contact and Crow stays behind. That was so close.
Yeah, great defense, wasn't it? He gave up the inside, didn't he? Wanted the outside. They were side by side and just backs himself so much on the brakes, doesn't he, Pucha? He knows where to brake for that Ekuma, and that's protected him so many times in this race. Yeah, back to your point with the more lights within the cockpit. Yeah, I imagine like if you got lights in the cockpit, your eyes will kind of undilute, won't they? And then all of a sudden your night vision will be a bit rubbish. So yeah, I guess it's quite a necessary thing for the drivers. And just coming up to a back marker here. And that is... just trying to look to see who that is. Not quite sure.
Should be Mark Lang, yeah.
Mark Lang, yeah. So where's he going to make the move, Marco Crow? Because Pucha seems to have everything covered down into Lekum. Has it got to be on the brakes going into this chicane? Has it got to be down at Lake Source? Yeah, because he's running out of ideas now.
Yeah, and also he made a little bit of a mistake here at the bus stop chicane, so he has to close the gap once again. And this little straight here won't help his cause. He needs a bigger straight, although he has a very nice exit from La Source. So Crow may go for the pass here. He looked more and more aggressive as the laps are passing by. Also, time is running out, so if he wants to make a pass, Sam, he needs to do it now. Oh, great defensive there, great defensive line there.
Yeah, interestingly, that time Pucha wanting the inside line. Last time he gave up the inside line, wanted the outside line. That worked awesome for him. But this time, really wanting to fend that off. Maybe being wary of the dive bomb from Crow. Because they weren't alongside, it would have had to have been a super late move and just wanted to cover him off, just saying, nope, you're not going to do that, mate. And yeah, worked out well once again. He's still ahead currently, still ahead of this race as Blake Neck. However, that gap is ebbing and flowing ever so slightly, back down to 1.8 seconds. And if Neck has got a little bit of a, if Neck is pressured with the incidents up there, could be a bit of an issue for him, because Burdett is not letting this one go on that last lap. He was 3/10 faster. And he is ever so slightly bringing that gap down still, so we'll watch out for that one. But right now it is the Crow battle, which I think is closest to a potential move. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, that last lap, Neck lost 0.4 of a second, so it is coming down 1.4 seconds now. So yeah, it's what, 2 more laps to go. This is where the calculations get difficult for when we actually we do the final lap. I think we have got 2 more laps to go for those leading drivers. Not the 3 potential laps, but Crow. Is he close enough this time? He's a little bit closer than he was on the last lap, but he's, he needs to be right on his tail, doesn't he? Because he needs to, at the very least, be fully alongside, I think, going down the home straight.
Yeah, also, maybe now we are in the part of the race where the drivers at the front know that maybe one more X, one more off track, and the race is done. So they are taking it a little bit easier. We don't know that for sure, but it could very well be a possibility given the nature of the track, and we talked about it extensively as Crow, as the draft once again moves on the inside, side by side, late braking by Putra, and he keeps the position once again.
Every time, isn't it? It's so good on the brakes, isn't he? So, this is close. So, Crow got a nice one. Now, can you look to the inside? Grant Crow, no, he wasn't quite brave enough on the brakes downhill into that corner. And it is quite a flower as well, so not easy to force the move even if you are on the inside. Behind, Cloetta, now only 2.5 seconds behind these guys. On that last lap, Cloetta, he wasn't much faster. I was getting excited there, but that gap was close to 6 seconds at one point. He could be on the tails of these guys by the end of the race if they are not careful.
I don't want to jinx him, but I wish I was as cool as Putra while defending my positions when I race, because he looks so calm all race long. He's been under attack since lap 1 basically, and he kept his position, his 5th position, so top 5, a prestigious position in a hour-long race, Spa-Francorchamps at night in such a competitive league. So absolutely, I mean, I can only admire his calm demeanor, even if under attack for basically an entire hour of racing.
Yeah, been one of the drives of the day, hasn't it? And he's put barely a foot wrong. Oh dear, I'm going to jinx him now, aren't I? And
well, in any case, the biggest fault would be mine.
Thanks for taking responsibility. Okay, yeah, you are worse though than me, to be fair, Marco. Last week, you know, I think you did like 4 broadcasts, at least 4 curses. I've been pretty good recently, but you've been absolutely lethal.
Yeah.
Of course, we have got 2 more events later on today. We've got the Apex Racing UK live stream for the World Championship Grand Prix series, and we've got the Euro V8 later on as well. So hopefully we won't get any more curses. But was super close between Crow and Puchla there, and they are alongside, I think, going down the Camel Straight. Crow, they're backing off. Oh, he's off the circuit, and he's going to lose it, Crow. And from going for P5, and is there going to be contact here? Crow's got to be really quick away. Who's next? Lin, going to get past. Sanchez is way behind. He's 46 seconds behind. So Crow, oh dear. They've just fallen at Puchla's feet, haven't they? Puchla's been so good at defense. But here we are on the last lap of the race. The clock is taking down 5 seconds to go. And it's Blake Neck, 1.7 seconds clear. He's had Mike Burdett in his mirrors all through the race. The gap has never gone above 3 seconds. But at the line, it looks as though it's going to be Blake Neck to take round 2 of the season. Here he comes in his Ford GT. Awesome drive from Blake Neck. Really mature, managed drive, and he's taken round 2 of the season. Mike Burdett cannot be disappointed with that pole position for him. But Neck's awesome start and slight surge at the start of the race wasn't enough. De Oliveira will come home in 3rd position. He fought off Yali very well, and in the end has finished some 8 seconds clear of his rival in 4th and somehow, Pucha is going to come home in 5th position. We have got more battling that's going on. Kata Kunizo has finally got that move done on Reynolds, and he's actually under pressure from Lachlan Craig at the end of this event now.
Yeah, so happy that I didn't jinx Putra and managed to get P5. It was a well-deserved P5 for him. Everybody behind him wanted a bit too much, or the guys who were battling with him. He stayed calm, and he got home with a very nice P5 at the end of the day. Cameras are on Reynolds, as you were saying, as they are completing their lap, these guys.
Yeah, we haven't paid too much attention to these guys since the opening few laps, but it has been a really good battle. Should actually really give some credit to Kata Calzino, because he was right down the field. And actually, Ahmed Nurzam had an issue up there, so he got himself back up into like the top 14, but unfortunately had to retire with an issue. Had quite a few retirements out there today, but Kata Zeno has been absolutely awesome. He's going to take home P12, and coming across the line as well as Shane Reynolds for 13th, Lachlan Crowe for 14th. Then we'll have to wait a little bit for Leonard Coxey and Kevin Huang will be the final driver across, I think, although he's now stopped and he has quit the race. So we can now take you through the final order, and it's Blake Neck taking the race victory. Awesome drive for him. 2.3 seconds clear of Mike Burdett in the end in second. Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira didn't finish that far behind in the end, 15 seconds in an hour-long race. Hopefully those three will continue their good run into the next round. Yazin Yali finishes in 4th from the front row of the grid. Abi Rafti Vedataya Puchla somehow comes home in 5th position. Awesome defending from him. Peter Clarita in 6th position. Then it's Yangzi Lin. We didn't see too much of Lin, but 16th to 7th. Awesome drive from him. He was just a little bit by himself throughout the race, but profited from errors from other drivers. One of them was Grant Crowe on the final lap, dropping to 8th after fighting with Pucha right to the finish. Simon Jorge Sanchez, good drive from him from 14th to 9th. Andre Amador, 19th to 10th. There's Paul Nelson, Sam Katakuzinos, who had to make an extra pit stop after an incident early on. Shane Reynolds finishes in 13th with Lachlan Crowe, 14th. There's Leonard Cuxey in 15th, then lap down. Brian Renforce, who we saw had a spinner at Puan. Kevin Huang, and then 2 laps down, Rob Harris, Mark Lang. There's Ben Wilkinson, 3 laps down. Ahmed Nurzam, 5 laps down. Nirijan Akuma, we saw him have a big off in that final sector in 7 laps down, 22nd position. Then it's Stephen Grima, 23rd. There's Alex Pohl, Matt Morris, Sean Thompson, and Jake Moloney rounding out the field. Hopefully going to have a couple of interviews with drivers, although we haven't got anyone at the moment. But for now, Marco, we didn't really see too many disqualifications out there. I don't think we saw a single one. We kind of bigged it up quite a bit, but really does show the quality of driving from the drivers to keep that managed very, very impressively.
Yeah, absolutely. Testament to these drivers. They were very good today. And this was, I think, the toughest test of their season. So I can only expect more good and entertaining racing in the coming weeks. I think next Saturday we are going to be in Japan at Suzuka. So another great historic racetrack, and going to put on a show for sure for us.
Yeah, that should be an awesome one. Scott, I'm just going to bring you in for a second. Yeah, how did you see that? That was pretty tight for the win, wasn't it? And in the end, we didn't see too many crashes out there, but some awesome battling out there, and just shows how good a circuit Spa really is.
Yeah, definitely. was expecting some close battles out there, and yeah, Super Racers Asia guys put it on a show, and it was also great to see that, especially the battle for the back end of the top 5, Putra, Kluita, Crow, just Putra hanging around the outside, as was mentioned in the broadcast. Superlative job from him to get in the top 5 and demonstrate that yeah, he's a driver to be reckoned with in the series. But also you can't take away from Blake. Superb drive from him to take the win, and yeah, didn't put a foot wrong. Also Mark Burdett backing up his 3rd place from last week, so excuse me, yeah, good job for him. And Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira running out the podium as well, good job for him.
Yeah, it was a lot of awesome drives out there, and I think we are now going to wrap up the show. Just a reminder, at 3:15, I think it is. I'm not quite sure, but we will be back within the next hour to broadcast the Apex Racing UK live stream for the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series. Later on, we've got the first round of the KSW Painting Euro V8 Supercar Series. That will be with you at 6:15 GMT. And then tomorrow we've got the iRacing Grand Prix Series midday. No, it's not midday actually. It's 14 GMT, I think. And then also we've got the BSR Grand Tour as well in the evening. So certainly catch all of those events, and also World GT making its return on Monday. But for now, from me, from Scott and Mark 8, we will say goodbye for now, and we will see you very, very soon.